everyone at hashtag Be1Less News and hashtag CDC Whistleblower. And for today, for sure, hashtag SB277 and hashtag mine, as in this body is mine and these children's bodies are mine. I'm here with Candace S. Dave at CES Dave, who, if anybody's on Twitter and they want to be part of the solution, go to your phone with your Twitter account, go to the very bottom of her pictures, and start retweeting those pictures. I'm here with Timothy Welsh at Tanner's Dad. If you want to know how to tweet, just tweet to at Tanner's Dad with hashtag AskTim, and he will help you out. Guess what? 2 a.m. this morning, I've got my email that says that the third assembly reading will be today. We expected it to be rushed through, which meant Thursday, but no, that's not soon enough. They're doing it. Hang on one second. I'm doing it today. The third reading is what the floor vote is. They do the third reading, then they do discussions, and then they do the floor vote. I just want to take you through a couple of things that have happened. There's been nothing normal about this vote in California. This vote in California was designed to just come up and go through with no resistance. Instead, it's had more resistance than any bill ever in the history of California, is the word I got from the sergeants of arms and the security. Despite that, despite having over 700 at the first time, 1,000 at the next one, and 1,200 people demonstrating and telling our government this is not what they want or is right for California, it kept passing through. And now it appears they're trying to hide what they're doing from us. And I'm going to go through that right now. But this right here shows you need to watch today. They actually have roll call at 7 a.m. and then start at 9. It's tinyurl.com/SB277 assembly vote. So make sure you watch and tweet live. But here's what's going on. This is live on the computer right now. It says today's hearings. Right here, this is assembly.ca.gov. It says daily schedule, Wednesday, June 17th, 2015. The Assembly has adjourned until Thursday, June 18th, 2015 at 9 a.m. I believe that if the Assembly votes on this today, they will be in violation of California state law by not giving us proper notification. I only heard about it because I signed up for an email alert. This is when you go to the next link. It says floor session. The Assembly has adjourned until Thursday, June 18th, 2015 at 9 a.m. It's not until you go to this link that you see this, which is Wednesday, and then suddenly they have some stuff listed. Then if you go all the way to the one where you try to watch what's going on, if you had been notified that it was going on, you'll see this. June 17th, which is today, Assembly Housing and Community Development Committee, Assembly floor session at 9 a.m. right here. So this is what you're going to click on today to watch the vote on SB277. This is where it's listed. You see that these are all the bills that are listed. Today's event. So you have to go deep past all of the notification that says, even on the top of their thing, it says, the Assembly has adjourned until Thursday, June 18th, but then it goes on to say, but here are today's events. It couldn't be more misleading, and I really do think they're in violation of law with this. You scroll down, and suddenly you see that, no, they're going to do the third reading. The third reading is the vote. That's generally what happens. So here we go. Just to break off, this is Dr. Jorge Moreno doing an SB277 PSA in Spanish. And again, here is where you can watch this vote. Candace, and bottom line is we need, if you can get there, get there. If you're within 2 hours of Sacramento, get in your car and go. Those of us in LA, we're trying to figure out what made the most sense, whether or not to get there, and decided what we could do from here was more important. Candace and Timothy, do you have anything to say about the insanity that is California?
We'll be standing by. I'll be writing my letter that Travis recommended that we send out to notify our senators and our assemblymen that they're in violation for not representing us.
Tim, do you have anything to say?
The language cannot be any stronger than tinyurl.com/universalfight. This is not one echo chamber of a few parents talking. This is communities coming together across the board, and this fight is just beginning. What they're doing today is totally illegal, immoral, and rushing to a vote that's not necessary, and is a crime, in my opinion.
Well, and bottom line is, I don't mean to sound down about this, but it's just so disappointing to see the level of what I consider corruption. I mean, our government is supposed to represent the people. And when they know there is this much interest in this bill and all they're trying to do is ram it down our throats, it's just truly disheartening on one level. On the other level, I feel like this is going to be what unites not only the United States but the world around beginning to research and understand that our government believes it owns your body. I think my body is mine, and the government thinks my body is theirs, and my children's body is theirs. That's why yesterday we showed the clip from Allison Fulmer that talks about how the Constitution protects you, that you own your body and you own your children's bodies, but we're allowing these states to believe otherwise. So the most important thing that's going to happen is this will have a floor vote in the Assembly. Then it will go back to the Senate to discuss all of the amendments. One of the biggest amendments that, if it appears, and I hope it does, is to eliminate Section 2E, which says that they can choose the immunizing agents and where and who immunizes these kids. It's absolutely a ridiculous sentence to have in there, and nobody should fight it. But if that does come to the floor and it is fought, then you know exactly who is more of a problem than others. Here's the takeaway in all of this. We can only own our, it's like a dog on a leash versus a dog off a leash that's not trained to stay with its owner. We have allowed our government to be like a dog off a leash wandering around the neighborhood aimlessly while the whole time we thought it wasn't misbehaving. We got to put our dogs on leashes. We've got to put our government on babysit watch. And that's what this summer in Sacramento is all about. This has gone too quickly for this to really play out the way we've wanted it to. It hasn't given us the time to do as much bonding as a community as we would have hoped for, but we've definitely bonded. We will be in this forever until we have a parent and a personal Bill of Rights in the state of California that makes health, freedom, our choice. We need a Bill of Rights around that, and that's what this will result in, but not if people go home and just figure out a way to protect their own kid. That's not ever going to be okay again. We need teams of people. Everybody needs to commit to once a month that they will go to Sacramento. You get your kids to school, you get in a van load with a bunch of moms, you drive up there, you spend half a day lobbying the late afternoon in Sacramento. You spend the evening hanging out with the lobbyists and hanging out with your legislators. You go to bed that night. You get up the next morning. You spend an entire day babysitting your legislators, and then you drive home. And if we could get all of the people that are on Facebook, if we could get 10% of the people on Facebook to commit to doing that once a month, they can't get away with this anymore. So please be monitoring this summer in Sacramento.com. this vax vote concept is really important, where we get, for example, we have David Hadley, who's a Republican, who's my assemblyman. When I first talked to him, he said that he is against this bill. He's a libertarian-leaning Republican. And now the people he's talked to, he's very non-committal. And that's actually the worst type of politician, because as a Republican, he's pretending to have that leaning, libertarian-leaning ideal, but in his heart, he's obviously more than okay with getting in between a parent and a parent's right to choose what type of medical interventions. So we're going to have lists of these legislators that we will meet at the primary. We have lists that we're going to recall. Ben Allen somehow wiggled off everybody's list for all that stuff. Well, he's firmly back on that list for recall and firmly back on that list to meet up at the primary. So we have the vax vote, where you just get everyone that you're considering voting for to commit firmly that right here it just says, ask the question, will you vote no on all vaccine mandates? Until they've said that out loud on camera, they're just fooling you. Then we have the mind.care, which we're going to roll out fully. Massive invasion of networking educators, and then of course the cool to care, which the concept is, it's cool to care what's going on in your government, and we need to stay engaged, and it's fun to hang out with all these people who care so much and have the same ideals as we do. And then of course there's always the Be One Less that has these main things. We're going to continue to tweet, and we are going to continue to put pressure around. Let me see if I can find Candace. How long ago did you tweet that? That Jerry Brown one. Wow, you've been busy. Just look at this. She's having a party here, folks, at CES, Dave. Is the Jerry Brown one anywhere close?
Yeah, he's in there. I don't know. He might be 30 down. I was busy last night, and I'll get back to it today.
So at CES, Dave, I know I've said that so many times, but there's just maybe in with this. Always speak the truth, even if your voice shakes. So anything else other than we are, this is the beginning, not the end. Anything else, you guys?
Be well, keep tweeting and educating, go out into your community with your sign. Go get them, educate the populace.
And Tim?
Not only praying for your family and our country, but asking for this craziness to end.
And Brown is going to veto this bill when it appears on his desk. I have all the faith in the world that a 77-year-old honorable man who has spent the last 45 years in politics is not going to spend the last years of his life at 77. I mean, if he lived to 107, it'd be 30 more years, living down, voting on a draconian bill in California. He's just not going to do that, and we need to help him understand this bill better. So we will be shifting our focus to Jerry Brown, and hopefully seeing you in Sacramento talking to Jerry Brown. We will see you on Twitter, hashtag SB277, hashtag mine, and hashtag CDC Whistleblower. Thanks.